In the relentless, cacophonous theater of modern social life, where existence is often measured in likes, shares, and the perpetual curation of a public persona, a singular figure moves with an almost preternatural quietude. He is not on the main stage, nor is he hidden backstage. He exists in the spaces between the spotlights, observed but never fully illuminated. This is a SigmaMale, a man who navigates the complex topography of human interaction not as a performer, but as a witness, a participant on his own terms. His presence is both tangible and elusive, a paradox that simultaneously draws people in and establishes an invisible, yet deeply felt perimeter. This enigmatic quality is not a facade, not a carefully manufactured brand identity designed to attract followers or cultivate an air of superiority. It is, rather, the organic and inevitable expression of a unique psychological framework, a mind that operates on a frequency distinct from the dominant social channels. If you have ever conversed with someone who left you with a lingering sense that you had only glimpsed the surface of a vast, uncharted ocean, whose calm demeanor seemed to conceal untold depths of thought and experience, you have likely felt the gravitational pull of the SigmaMale's profound and intrinsic mystery. This document serves as an extensive exploration, a deep dive beneath the calm surface to uncover and examine the 8 core principles that generate and perpetuate this captivating aura. 1. The architecture of silence, the strategic and purposeful management of information. In an age of informational incontinence, where the most intimate details of one's life are routinely offered up for public consumption as a form of social currency, the SigmaMale practices a discipline of profound communicative intentionality. This is not merely the art of listening. It is a masterful practice of strategic disclosure, the economy of words and the wealth of implication. For the majority, conversation is often a process of verbal excavation, an immediate and unconsidered dumping of mental and emotional content. Oversharing has become the default setting, a nervous tick of social engagement used to forge instant, if fragile, intimacy. The SigmaMale stands in stark contrast to this paradigm. He approaches information not as something to be expended, but as a resource to be managed. His disclosures are not governed by emotional impulse or a desperate need to fill silence, but by a calibrated assessment of relevance and the genuine depth of the relationship at hand. He understands, on an intuitive level, that true mystery is not synonymous with secrecy or deceit. A secret is a specific piece of information that is actively concealed. Mystery, however, is the atmospheric quality that arises from the presence of undefined potential, the sense that there is more to be known. It is maintained not by lying, but by establishing and holding firm appropriate personal boundaries. The social imbalance and the generation of curiosity. Consider a typical social exchange. 2 acquaintances rapidly trading personal anecdotes, childhood memories, and current anxieties in a bid to establish rapport. In this dynamic, the SigmaMale is often the quiet center. He listens with focus that is both disarming and intense, absorbing the information offered without feeling compulsion to offer reciprocal vulnerability. When posed a direct personal question, he does not deflect with hostility, but answers with a response that is perfectly polite, yet artfully constructed to reveal just enough to satisfy the query while preserving the sanctity of his private world. This creates a powerful and intriguing asymmetry in the social exchange. The other person leaves the interaction feeling that the SigmaMale now knows a great deal about them, while they have learned very little about him. This imbalance does not breed resentment, but rather a potent sense of curiosity and a heightened degree of respect. His stories, when he does choose to share them, carry immense weight and gravitas. Because they are rare commodities, not cheapened by constant circulation, each revealed detail feels like a privileged insight, a piece of a puzzle that only deepens the intrigue of the overall picture. His communication is a disciplined craft. In a world of background noise, his words are a clear, resonant signal that commands attention. 2. The kaleidoscopic self, the cultivation of unpredictable and multifaceted depth. Human society has a deeply ingrained tendency to categorize, to label, to quickly file individuals into neat, understandable boxes. We speak of the jock, the nerd, the entrepreneur, the artist, as if these descriptors can capture the entirety of a human being. The SigmaMale consistently and organically defies this reductive impulse. He is a living embodiment of unpredictable depth. The rejection of the personal brand. In an era of personal branding, where many individuals consciously craft a consistent, marketable image to present across all contexts, the SigmaMale is a study in authentic multiplicity. He is not a monolithic entity, but a collection of genuine, fully realized facets. The colleague who works alongside him in a corporate environment might describe a brilliantly incisive and focused analyst, a man of few words but potent ideas. The companion who joins him on a weekend hiking expedition would recount the story of a resilient and knowledgeable outdoorsman, completely at home in the wilderness. The owner of a used bookstore might know him as a voracious and philosophical reader, capable of discussing obscure historical texts or complex literary theory. These are not manufactured personas he dons like costumes. They are authentic expressions of a complex individual with diverse interests and competencies. The phenomenon of perspectable mystery. This multifaceted nature creates what can be termed perspectable mystery. No single person in his life possesses a complete picture of who he is. Each individual holds a fragment of the truth, a perspective limited to the context in which they interact with him. The mystery deepens exponentially when these different circles occasionally intersect. The corporate colleague, upon hearing from the hiking companion about a daring rock-climbing feat, is left bewildered. The bookish intellectual described by the librarian seems irreconcilable with the pragmatic problem solver described by a business partner. These are not contradictions that suggest duplicity, but surprising juxtapositions that hint at a far richer and more complex inner world. People sense, often unconsciously, that they are only ever seeing one room in a vast, sprawling mansion. This awareness generates a powerful, magnetic draw to explore further, to be granted access to more of the hidden chambers. The mystery is not a wall designed to keep people out, but a labyrinth that invites exploration, rewarding those who are persistent and perceptive with ever deeper understandings. 3. The eloquence of stillness, the mastery of comfortable and contemplative silence. We live in a world terrified of quiet. Silence is treated as a social vacuum that must be immediately filled with the white noise of chatter, music, or the digital hum of a device. In this environment, the SigmaMale's profound comfort with silence is not just unusual. It is a radical act. He has mastered the art of comfortable silence. Silence is a statement, not an absence. For most, a pause in conversation becomes a space fraught with social anxiety, an awkward void that must be bridged with hurried words, often leading to trivialities or verbal stumbling. The SigmaMale reclaims this space. His silence is not empty. It is full. It is contemplative, observant, and self-contained. In a one-on-one conversation, he can listen for minutes without feeling the need to interject, his attention never wavering. In a group setting, he may be the quiet member, not out of shyness or discomfort, but from a place of calm assurance. He does not need to perform his intelligence or wit for the approval of the room. This quiet demeanor becomes a canvas onto which others project their own insecurities and curiosities. They find themselves wondering, what is he thinking? Is he judging me? What profound insights are forming behind those calm, observant eyes? His silence actively generates questions, and questions are the very engine of mystery, the amplified power of the spoken word. This verbal economy has a secondary, powerful effect. It makes his eventual speech profoundly impactful. When the SigmaMale does choose to speak, the room naturally stills. People lean in, intuitively understanding that what is about to be said is not mere social filler. His words are measured, considered, and carry the weight of preceding silence. This stands in stark contrast to the individual who talks incessantly, whose words eventually become a monotonous drone, their important points lost in a sea of verbal debris. For the SigmaMale, each statement is a deliberate act. This practice creates a presence that is felt as substantive and dense, rather than performative and fleeting. It fosters a vague but persistent awareness in others that there are entire currents of thought and perception flowing beneath his calm surface, currents to which they are not privy, making his every utterance potential key to a deeper understanding. 4. The internal compass, the foundational absence of need for social validation. Human behavior, when closely examined, often reveals itself to be a complex dance aimed at acquiring validation. We dress to impress. We share accomplishments to receive praise, We modify our opinions to gain acceptance, and we conform to trends to feel belonging. The motivations of most people become transparent once you understand what specific form of validation they are seeking. The Sigma male's enigmatic nature is fundamentally rooted in his liberation from this very game. He operates on a system of internal validation, the impenetrable fortress of self-awareness. Because the Sigma male's sense of self-worth is generated internally, through his own adherence to his principles, the satisfaction of his own curiosity, and the achievement of his personal standards, he becomes remarkably immune to the manipulative tools of social pressure. Flattery often falls on deaf ears, as it does not require external confirmation of his value. Social coercion fails because he feels no compelling need to belong to any particular group. This validation independence makes his behavior incredibly difficult to predict through conventional social calculus. His actions appear to spring from a deep, internal wellspring of motivation that others cannot easily access or comprehend. Why did he turn down that prestigious promotion? Why does he dress with understated simplicity when flashier options are available? Why does he not boast about his evident competencies? To the outside world, these behaviors are puzzling, seemingly irrational within the standard framework of social advancement. This creates the perception of enigmatic behavior. When you cannot readily discern what someone wants from you, or from the world at large, they become automatically more mysterious. The Sigma male, crucially, wants nothing that others can easily provide, which positions him as a self-contained and ultimately unpredictable entity. The authenticity of action. This freedom from the validation economy means that his every action is stripped of performative intent. He helps someone not to be seen as a good person, but because it aligns with his internal code. He pursues a skill not for the accolades it might bring, but for the personal satisfaction of mastery. This purity of motivation is rare and, to those accustomed to the transactional nature of most social interactions, deeply mysterious. They are constantly waiting for the catch, for the moment he reveals his true, validation-seeking colors, a moment that never comes. This consistent authenticity only serves to deepen the mystery, as it confirms that his behavior is governed by a logic that exists outside their own understanding. 5. The cultural chameleon, the practice of effortless environmental fluidity. A truly fascinating aspect of the Sigma male is his ability to move through vastly different social and physical environments with seamless, almost chameleonic adaptability. He possesses a quality of environmental fluidity that is both impressive and deeply mysterious. Competence as a constant, performance as a variable. Observe a Sigma male as he transitions between contexts. In the polished, high-stakes environment of a corporate boardroom, he demonstrates a sharp, professional competence, understanding the language of business and strategy. Transport him to a remote wilderness setting, and he may reveal practical survival skills, an ability to read terrain, and a physical resilience that seems at odds with his corporate persona. Place him at an informal social gathering of artists and intellectuals, and he can engage in deep philosophical discussions, referencing literature and theory with ease. This is not a case of a man losing himself to fit in. His core identity, his integrity, his calm composure, his observational nature remains constant. What changes is the expression of his diverse competencies. He adapts without compromising, contributing meaningfully from a place of genuine ability rather than a desire to impress. The perpetual shattering of categories. This fluidity is a primary engine of mystery because it systematically prevents people from pigeonholing him. Just when an individual believes they have him neatly categorized as a corporate type, he reveals a profound knowledge of ancient history or demonstrates a surprising artistic talent. This is not intentional misdirection. It is a natural expression of a well-developed and widely curious human being. The mystery derives from the continuous and often unexpected revelation that there is always more to discover. The surface that someone has scratched is revealed to be merely the outermost layer of a much deeper, more complex entity. He becomes a living contradiction to the human desire for simple labels, forcing those around him to constantly update and expand their mental model of who he is, a process that never quite reaches completion. 6. The still waters, the maintenance of profound emotional composure. In a culture that often conflates emotional expression with emotional depth, where reality television and social media celebrate public displays of feeling, the Sigma male's demeanor presents a striking contrast. He is the master of emotional composure, the subtle language of inner weather. While others broadcast their emotional states through exaggerated facial expressions, dramatic verbal declarations, and clear, readable body language, the Sigma male maintains a remarkable equanimity. This is not to say he does not feel emotions deeply. On the contrary, he likely experiences them with great intensity. The difference lies in expression. His emotional landscape is communicated not through grand performances, but through subtle, almost imperceptible shifts in energy, a slight narrowing of the eyes, a subtle change in the timbre of his voice, or a quiet intensity in his stillness. This emotional subtlety is a powerful generator of mystery. People cannot easily read his reactions or predict his emotional responses. Did that cutting criticism in the meeting anger him? Is he genuinely enjoying this party? Or is he merely being polite? Is he stressed about the impending deadline? The uncertainty this creates keeps people psychologically off balance, constantly engaged in the act of trying to decipher his subtle cues rather than responding to obvious emotional signals. Refinement, not suppression. It is crucial to distinguish this composure from emotional suppression or stoic detachment. The Sigma male is not repressing his feelings. He is refining their expression. He feels fully, but he expresses selectively. This discernment preserves the sanctity of his inner world, treating his emotions not as public spectacles, but as private, meaningful experiences. This practice commands a quiet respect and often a degree of caution. People understand that they are in the presence of someone with immense self-control, a man whose reactions cannot be easily anticipated or manipulated. This makes his occasional, genuine displays of emotion a rare, full-body laugh, a flash of righteous anger, a moment of quiet compassion, all the more powerful and memorable because they are understood as genuine glimpses into a typically guarded world. 7. The polymath's pursuit, the development of uncommon and eclectic competencies. The Sigma male often possesses a repository of knowledge and skills that fall well outside the boundaries of conventional expectation for his apparent type. He is a dedicated pursuer of uncommon competencies, the intellectual tapestry of depth and breadth. He might be a software engineer who is also a skilled classical pianist, a university professor who is also a proficient martial artist, a tradesman who has an encyclopedic knowledge of Renaissance art. These are not dilettantes dabbling in hobbies. These are deep, committed pursuits that he undertakes for his own edification and satisfaction. His knowledge base is not narrowly specialized along a single career track, but eclectic, drawing from disparate fields that he synthesizes in unique ways. His learning is driven by intrinsic curiosity rather than extrinsic reward, leading him down intellectual and practical paths that most people never venture upon. The element of the unexpected. These uncommon competencies directly contribute to his aura of mystery because they disrupt standard social narratives. They force people to confront the fact that he does not fit their preconceived models. They find themselves wondering about the origins of these skills, the motivations behind these pursuits, and, most intriguingly, what other surprising capabilities he might be hiding. His diverse skill set makes him consistently surprising. Just when someone believes they have mapped the boundaries of his knowledge or ability, he reveals a new facet that dramatically expands the territory, forcing a constant reassessment of his character. He is a living reminder that the most interesting aspects of a person are often the ones that are not immediately advertised, the ones that are discovered only through time and attentive observation. 8. The unified paradox, the comfortable embodiment of seemingly contradictory qualities. Perhaps the most profound and compelling source of the Sigma male's mystery is his ability to embody, without internal conflict, a set of qualities that would appear contradictory to most. He is a walking unified paradox, the reconciliation of opposites. He is fiercely independent, yet deeply and loyally connected to his own set of principles and a few individuals who have earned his trust. He possesses an unshakable, quiet confidence in his own abilities and judgments, yet remains a perpetual student of the world, always open to new learning and perspectives. He is socially capable, able to navigate complex interactions with grace and intelligence, yet he is perfectly, utterly content in his own solitude. He is fundamentally peaceful and non-aggressive, preferring harmony over conflict, Yet he can become formidably strong and resolute when his core principles are challenged or when protection of the vulnerable is required. The cognitive dissonance that intrigues. These paradoxes create a powerful cognitive mystery. The human mind seeks consistency and struggles to comfortably resolve such apparent contradictions. Is he an introvert or an extrovert? A traditionalist or an innovator? A leader or a loner? The answer, frustratingly for the categorizing mind, is that he is both, in a synthesis that defies conventional understanding. This comfortable coexistence of opposites suggests a level of psychological integration and complexity that is rare and deeply intriguing to those accustomed to more one-dimensional personalities. The mind, confronted with a puzzle it cannot solve, continues to work on it long after an interaction has ended. The Sigma male lingers in the thoughts of others not because of what he said, but because of what he represented. A human being of such layered complexity that he cannot be easily processed, filed away, and forgotten. Conclusion: the undiscovered country. In final analysis, the Sigma male's mystery is not a calculated strategy, a marketing ploy, or a defensive wall erected against the world. It is a natural, organic expression of an individual who has consciously or unconsciously chosen depth over superficiality, substance over performance, and self-knowledge over social validation. His enigmatic quality is not a weapon, but a filter, a subtle, energetic mechanism that naturally attracts those who are perceptive, patient, and worthy of his depth, while gently but firmly repelling those who would only seek to trivialize, exploit, or misunderstand it. In a world that is increasingly starved for genuine authenticity, his quiet, complex, and multifaceted nature stands as a powerful testament to the fact that the most profound treasures are not those loudly displayed in shop windows, but those that remain undiscovered, not because they're deliberately hidden, but because they reveal their true richness only to those who are willing to venture beyond the obvious, to look patiently, and to appreciate the profound beauty of a story that is told, not in a single volume, but in a slowly unfolding, endlessly fascinating series. Do these ideas resonate with you? If you found yourself nodding along or reflecting deeply on the traits and experiences we explored in this video, I'd love to hear your thoughts. The Sigma male mindset isn't often talked about openly, and your perspective, whether you identify with it personally or have encountered in others, adds valuable depth to the conversation. Drop a comment below and let me know, which part hit home the most for you? Have you seen these traits in yourself or someone you know? Your insights help build a community where authenticity and growth are prioritized over popularity and performance. If you're drawn to this kind of introspective, no-nonsense content around Sigma males, psychological strength, emotional intelligence, and high-value living, there's more waiting for you. Explore the other videos on this channel for deeper dives, actionable insights, and raw truths that cut through the noise. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay sharp, stay grounded, and stay unapologetically real.